Okay, good morning to everybody. My name is Andrea Calori. I come from Italy, and I am part of an association which is a social enterprise working on a kind of social consultancies for institutions to support a local experience of local sustainable economy. But here I was asked to speak about the experience of urgency in the perspective of what comes from these kind of fantastic experiences of community-supported agriculture. I will take advantage of the presentation of Christine, which allows me to cut my, my intervention, and to tell you something about how to move, how to empower, first, how to empower this kind of small experiences, which are the basis of a future economy, of an ongoing economy, but also future economy, and how to empower them to move to a system and to move to public policies to support this kind of perspective. And so this is why I speak about actions and policies for a resilient economy. So I don't have to speak so much to cut my intervention about community-supported agriculture. Anyway, the basis is a local relation, solidarity relation between people, which are the basis of economy, not the economy as a basis for society. And so urgency is a word association. It works mainly as a social movement, I can say. We're present in all the 5 continents with the very, very small groups, but also national networks. And there are many, many ways to speak about community-supported agriculture, which is surely, as Christian told before, an English definition, even if it is used by only, also in other countries, not only in the US, in Canada, in England, but there are many names, different names, an example all over the world, combined with the local culture. So when we speak about CSA, community-supported agriculture, we are speaking about networks of civil society groups who are oriented to work on local food with a community perspective, which is not new in all our history. All the people used in the tradition, in the history, all over the world, used to grow local food and to eat locally, obviously. When we are speaking about community-supported agriculture now, we are speaking about a different way of organizing groups according to also contemporary cultures, also in Europe, also in Greece, doing different kind of actions which are based on local production and consumption, but that has to deal also with all the parts of the agricultural system, agricultural cycle. For example, the participatory approach connected to the guarantee system is a way to speak about not to the organic certification system of the European Commission, for example, European Union, but to decide at a community level what is important for that kind of community, what is organic food, what is fair food, what is a fair price. So a way to create a guarantee system through participation, which is a way to consolidate the community on one side, and then to define other criteria for the market, which are sensitive to the local environmental situation, for example, local social situation, and so on. So we are speaking about a complexity of actions, and in Europe there are many, many different cultures and histories. We are part of a common market, common culture, common history, but there are also differences. And so when we are speaking about CSA, we are speaking about something that is connected to social economy, solidarity economy, but also other kind of informal practices. So cooperatives, but also informal groups. For example, in Italy, the Italian version of CSA is based mainly on informal groups of consumers who are connected to producers. So they are not exactly cooperatives, necessarily cooperatives. So it is important to understand that the principle of cooperatives, especially of social cooperatives, are absolutely the same of this kind of universe of community-supported agriculture, even if they are not formalized. What is important is that they are, between brackets, under the level of public policies, because most part of these groups are not implied in public policies, even if it is really a growing phenomenon. For example, community garden is only a step, only a piece of the mosaic of community-supported agriculture. There is a huge tradition. For example, during the Second World War in England, there was really a number of victory gardens, which were an experience of community gardens within the cities also, connected to people who had a problem of fighting the hunger during the war. This is to say that it is really a universe which is really increasing now. This is a diagram related to Italy. In the past 15 years, this is the dynamic of the explosion of this phenomenon. And so there are groups in almost all the European member states, also in Greece, even if in Greece there are only a few groups. In France, there are about 2,000 groups of CSA, for example. And there are connection between these kind of small groups, district and regional networks, national networks, but also world movement, world association like La Via Campesina, which is an association of farmers' union, association of movement, association of association, connecting all over the world many so-called food sovereignty-oriented farmers and consumers. So there is a complexity of word. This is to say that, Christian spoke about this booklet is a manual. You can download it from the Urgency website. It could be useful to start, to understand something about CSA, how to start a CSA group. It was written by a group of young people coming from all over Europe, as Christian told before. You can read it if you want to improve your discussion at the local level. But what I wanted to do with this kind of quite short, excuse me for this kind of speed of my speech, but to cut my intervention, only a key points, in my opinion, that are important to understand how to improve this kind of experience, very localized experience, into public policies, to shift from a community-supported agriculture to a more comprehensive, resilient society. What is happening, first idea is to see what is happening in many organized CSA networks, not groups, but networks. What is happening is that when we connect some groups, we have different economical effects in different fields, not only in agriculture. Because if you consolidate a community or a relation between people, and you try to combine this relation with an economic perspective, you can see that in Europe there are many experiences of collective management of land, collective trust for land, particular use of ethical finance, microcredits, crowdfunding based on the community to provide housing and services, local energy, and so on. Also, some of the experiences described yesterday in the session of yesterday afternoon are connected to this kind of approach, starting from agriculture or connected to agriculture. So this is why I say that agriculture, CSA, is a good point of view, not to speak only about agriculture, but to speak of our development model. Because if we analyze a network of CSA groups, we see that they have care for the environment. They are speaking about a different way to organize commerce, to organize logistics, transport, the settlement organization between country and city, energy consumption, and so on. These are actions if we see from a sociological point of view. But these are also policies, fields of policies. So I remember yesterday, if you were present in the yesterday discussion, I was very impressed by the number of questions to the officer of the Ministry of Labor. The problem, yes, is money, but the problem is also regulation of the context of commerce, logistics, settlement, territory planning, and so on, to have the possibility to have a different agriculture. So not only money, but also regulation and other kind of policies. And okay, just to finish, this is an example of what could be a perspective to speak about how to empower this kind of local food networks. From one side, we do need support system for the groups, for the local groups, for the single farmers, for the single consumer, and the very grassroots level to provide microcredit and ethical finances, to have time banks and local currencies within the support of public policies based on this. Because this is the reality, this is the ongoing reality of this group. It's not the future, it's now. Then community land trust, how to plan the cities to providing community land trust. And then there is a huge potential role of not only the national government, not only the European Union, but starting from local authorities and regional government. Spatial planning, right and rules for equality-based job. Yesterday we had an intervention by the ILO, that this is similar also to what a local municipality can do. And then something to change the rule for local commerce. In many countries in Europe, it is not possible to have a local market because of local rule of commerce. And then we have to change the local public procurement for providing school with a CSA approach for school for children. It is maybe difficult, but it is in the hand of local authorities. We have many experience of this. I think it is a good basis to have a context of public policies for community support agriculture. We are doing this job also in the FAO context, in the United Nations level. So I think it is possible also at the local level, and we are trying to support a connection between different agencies of the United Nations, the ILO, the UNDP, the FAO, working exactly on this connection between agriculture and other support communities to support the fantastic experience of Christine and thousands of similar experience in Europe to shift into a different basis for our policies. Thank you.